I work alongside a man who told me my deceased family members are going to hell. What can I do about it? Hi all, this one has a bit of backstory. I hope it's appropriate for this sub. If not, please let me know where to go and I'll take it there instead. I posted it previously in the advice sub, but got minimal feedback, so I'm hoping for a broader response here. 8 years ago, I had a stepfather who was killed in a hit-and-run car accident. He was an atheist and very outspoken against the church after having been raised in it and traumatized by religion earlier in life. Before his death occurred, my biological father died of a heart attack 12 years ago. He was very devoutly religious, and after my parents' divorce and my mom's subsequent remarriage, he moved in with two other religious men, one of whom is the subject of today's post. This is therefore someone I've had close interactions with since my teenage years. I was a lot closer to my stepdad than my dad, and my stepdad's death impacted me much more to the point of self-harm and worse when it occurred. I was still friends with my dad's old roommate on Facebook, and he used the opportunity to belittle me for some issues I was dealing with at the time, gender identity, got into religious debates with me when I was in the heat of grief, then told me publicly that, in the case of your stepdad, assuming he had the same belief as you, he is now eternally separated from God in a place called hell. I removed him from Facebook after that and made a very public post about it, which resulted in a huge comment thread and multiple friends messaging him telling him how much of a piece of shit he was. Fast forward to now, and I recently ended up working at his workplace by sheer coincidence. We both hold the same job title, and he has less than a year's seniority over me, and he has apparently already been getting into issues with management. So they weren't happy when I explained our history but didn't do anything about him. I've been avoiding him for several months since starting work there, but this week, he finally recognized me after 8 years since our last interaction. He came up to say hi, acting completely friendly, and when I confronted him on the last thing he told me, he claimed he didn't say it. I told him I had proof, screenshots, of what he said. Then he just followed it with, well, that's what the Bible says. Clearly missing the point of my anger, he repeated it again. When I asked if he was seriously going to double down on it, he did so again before walking off. I was furious and told the boss what happened, but he didn't want to touch the situation with a 100-foot pole because he couldn't afford to lose staff. I sympathize with my boss for being stuck in the middle of our personal drama, but I also don't feel right just letting this go. I should also mention that my managers have had problems with him since before I got there, and one of them called him a fucking asshole. Her words, not mine. But they didn't do anything about him then, so I have little reason to believe much would change now. What should I do here? I can't act professionally around this man on account of our family history and his statements, many of which aren't worth mentioning here. And I also can't quit this job because it's the best paying job in town, and I really need the money right now. Should I just let this go? Do I drop it entirely? Do I go higher up and go to corporate? Any advice is appreciated. Thank you.